letting my plants die, I brought them to the office, and our caretaker said he's gonna help me until I come up with a long-term solution. So we're gonna use these things to try and stabilize it. I don't know. He's gonna do whatever he has to do. They can't die. I can't lose my plants like this. I saw that some of the plants that are in the garden grew a lot, so I'm hoping for the best for my babies too. I'm gonna leave them here until I find a long-term solution. So we'll see how it goes. This is what it looks like. Oh my goodness, this is what it looks like right now. So these are two different plants. There might be some other dead ones in that soil. I don't remember. I don't know, but we'll give it some time and then we'll see how it goes. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is me officially opening my vlog. This morning I was just touch and go, but welcome back to another vlog. The previous vlog was very short. I'm so sorry about that. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to pop in and share that there is another drone pilot certificate sponsorship. This time it's by FlyFofa. So if you look up FlyFofa aviation training, I think that's what the full name is, FlyFofa aviation training. They have they're running bursaries for the remote pilot certificate as well as cabin crew. I looked at the one for the remote pilot certificate, and the minimum requirements, the sponsorship is for people between the ages of 18 and 23 from the Gauteng province. What are the other requirements? You need to have mathematics level 4 and English level 5. But to get like the proper information, you can go on their Instagram page, FlyFofa, and see the sponsorships that they're currently running. They close early Jan, so the sooner you apply the better. That's what I wanted to share today. It's the 24th of December. I'm at work, gonna be knocking off soon, so I'm on an impromptu lunch. But yeah, I'll be knocking off and going home. I cannot wait to go home. I haven't gotten my sister a Christmas present, so I will start off by getting my sister a Christmas present, then go home. I miss my mom so much. I don't know if I'll vlog when I'm home, but if I don't vlog, then it means this vlog is gonna be short like the previous one. My sister said, my girl, that was not a vlog, that was an ad. And fair. But yeah, I hope you guys are gonna have a great time with your family, and those who are not able to make it home for Christmas, I hope you still enjoy your day nonetheless. Hopefully next year. But yeah, well wishes to all of you. Merry Christmas. Good morning. Today's the 31st of December, and yes, I am in my office. I'm not too upset about it, but I would have loved to be home. I wanted to reflect on the things that worked for me in 2025. So at the top of the list, what made my year different than the ones I've had before is a prayerful life. I was so lucky this year to not only build community at church, but to be a part of the intercessors group. And it happened coincidentally. I didn't really understand, or I wasn't aware of the work that intercessors do at church. So this one time, I thought there was gonna be an all-night prayer. So I was texting one of the girls that I had met at homestyle to ask if they're going to church that evening. They're like, my girl, I don't think we actually have a service tonight. So actually, I didn't text them. I bumped into them. Yes, I bumped into them because at the time we were staying in the same area. So I was going to the mall and I bumped into one of the girls. So I asked her, are you going to the night prayer? She's like, I don't think there's any night prayer, but I'll message you I'll confirm with the other girls, and then I'll message you to let you know if there actually is one or not. And then she messaged me, it's like, no, there's no night prayer, but there is a prayer tomorrow morning. So that Saturday morning, I thought the night prayer was on a Friday. So then Saturday morning, I went to church and I met one of the leaders for the intercession department at church, and he was also surprised to see someone completely new, I think. But the welcome was very warm, and I was just sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, I think this is where I'm supposed to be, because I had gone a few months prior to that thinking about how I just felt it in my spirit that I needed to set an hour apart before going to bed and after waking up, like in the morning, the first hour in the morning, and just dedicated to stillness, you know, not do anything that has to do with my phone or anything like that. But I hadn't figured out what exactly to do with that time. So when I attended prayer that Saturday, the leader was speaking about how they have an hour allocated to prayer every day. Like there are people assigned to every hour of the day just to pray. So I thought maybe this is what God was honestly trying to tell me, that he wants to place me in a community where I can have an hour to pray every day. And that changed my life for the good. It's so grounding. I found it to be really grounding. The praying, the community, which brings me to the second life-changing experience that I had in 2025, and that's community and fellowship. So I had the community with the intercessors. I also had a community with home cell, and I've never experienced that before. So it was really nice. The way my age mates, well, everyone welcomed me to home cell. It felt like home right from the jump. But I was so happy to also have a community with my age mates. You know, sometimes it's not, I'm not gonna lie and say I find it hard to make friends. I actually love meeting new people. It was just so nice to have people be open to having you in their space, to sharing their space with you. I remember how like I actually got to really connect with them. There was a funeral at church and we had to go to Polokwane. And it just invited me. I didn't even think I would go because how am I going to get to Polokwane, you know? And it just invited me to go with them. And we went, the road trip was interesting. The conversations that we were having, the fact that I was meeting those people for the first time, but it was also nice to engage with people who have a different way of thinking, speaking about goals and relationships from a God-centered place. That really felt good, and I enjoyed the conversations we had. Yeah, I was so happy to be welcomed into their group so easily. Not to say I wasn't feeling shy or anything like that, but they just made it so easy for me to gel with everyone else. So I'm very grateful for the community and fellowship that I built within the church itself. Outside of church, I met new people through school. I'm very grateful for the community and fellowship that I built this year. It impacted my life positively. It's so good to not feel alone and to have people who pray for you. Oh my goodness. And that's one thing I needed, because you know, I spent so much time this year struggling emotionally. Someone actually warned me against this before. If I go through a hurtful experience, I spend too much time processing that thing, wanting to understand where things went wrong, what I could have done to change the outcome. That's something I genuinely have to unlearn, because no one would believe how much time I spent this year meditating on pain. So having those people really helped me. You know, it gets to a point where you don't need advice anymore. You just need someone to stand in the gap for you and pray without you even having to explain what's going on, because some things you're just overwhelmed by everything you're feeling. You're not really understanding why it feels that way, you know. So this year I had so many people around me to pray for me, even when I couldn't go into the details of what was weighing on me. And I am so grateful. Oh my goodness, I'm grateful for that. Yesterday I posted on my WhatsApp that I'm actually grateful for my colleagues that work in the operations control center as well. Earlier this year I could not stay in this office for long, because with this office now, I don't have a window, so I don't have a view of anything besides the walls, and that's not okay. Like, for anyone, no one should be put in a box in a way, you know. So considering the emotional state that I was in at the beginning of the year, first half of the year basically, I couldn't stand like being here. So I would constantly go into the operations control room, and I would feel so relieved to be around people and we have conversations that help me to get out of my mind. I spent so much time in my head this year. I spent a ridiculous amount of time in my head. Not that I regret it. I got to learn a lot of things about myself. Of course, but I don't intend on doing that again. It was an experience. I'm grateful for it. There are different ways that I can learn about myself and about my experiences outside of just being in my head. So being in the operations control room really helped me so much. People don't understand how kindness genuinely goes a long way. I think I don't think we go through life without experiencing kindness, but sometimes we're just not conscious of it, you know. So in a way we take it for granted. But because I was like, I needed kindness at the time, so when I experienced it, I was very grateful, which is I couldn't leave the control room. I could not leave the control room. At some point my manager even considered moving me there permanently. But I'm just so grateful for the kindness that I experienced and how welcoming people were. You know, people can just easily be like, you know what, my girl, this is distracting. We're at work. Go to your workspace. We do not need to be here laughing every 2 seconds. Go back to your office. But people welcomed me really well. Not that I was in there distracting people all the time, but I'm just so grateful for the kindness that I experienced this year, because I'm so aware of how much I needed it. Yeah, I'm just so conscious of how much I needed it and how much it helped me get through coming to work every day, even though I generally just didn't want to be here. Not because of my work or anything like that. I was not in the right emotional space. So I'm very grateful also for the people that really showed me kindness. Loving openly. If there's anything that filled my cup this year, is loving the people that I love openly. You know, when it comes to friends and family, I think we just make the assumption that, oh, we love each other because we're in each other's lives. I'm one of those people that have like long-term friendships, and I think that can easily be taken for granted. I'm not with my friends because we've been friends. I'm not with my friend or Anel because we've been friends since we were 4. No, we're still friends because I love her and I value her, and I'm aware of the value that she brings into my life. But I feel like sometimes we take those things for granted, and it's just like, oh, we've been friends for so long, we're gonna be friends forever, so what? But this year I was very open and I expressed my appreciation for my friends and my family. I expressed my love. There was a time where a week wouldn't go by without me telling everyone in my family that I love them, because I genuinely do. And I feel like when we don't say those things and we leave them like for assumptions, I mean, it's obvious I love you, we're family. It feels good when you say it. It feels good when the people in your family say it back to you. And I think you just become reminded of the love that you share for each other. More than anything, it made me realize how grateful I am that God chose those specific people to be a part of my family. Like, I get to say that person is my brother, is my sister, my grandmother, all those people. I'm very grateful for each and every one of them. I was telling one of my friends this week, she posted a cute video of her and her brother, and I was like, you're so blessed to have a vessel that receives your love. So loving my friends and family openly made me realize that I do have vessels and avenues that receive my love openly, and that feels good. It feels grounding. That's one of the things I'm absolutely grateful for. Openly having conversations about the friendships that I have with my friends and having spoken commitments with my friends. That's one of the things that really made me feel good this year, because like I said, when these relationships last for long, we take them for granted to an extent. I think we're really invested in creating healthy romantic relationships, that so many of the other relationships that we have in our lives just fall to the back, and it's just like, oh, of course this one is fine as it is, and we don't pour into those relationships as much as we should. Having spoken commitments with my friends made me realize that my friends value me as well. I have one particular friend where we just had a conversation, and we outlined the fact that we are committing to each other for a lifetime, and that felt so good. I'm glad that she got to understand how much she means to me, and I got to know how much I mean to her as well. So that really was a game changer for me. That really was a game changer for me in 2025. Another thing that I did this year was position myself to learn. Another thing that I did this year was position myself to learn, especially through YouTube, and I saw its impact. I positioned myself to learn about the things that I'm passionate about. Positioning myself to learn was one of the best things best decisions that I made for myself this year. I enjoyed watching Chatty's podcast here on YouTube. I enjoyed watching vlogs. For me, I think the highlight about watching vlogs is seeing how God does it. God is there for a dark-skinned black woman too. That's the theme like that I've been picking up with all the vloggers that I love. I think the standard of the world is that the particularly dark-skinned black woman is the last person to experience any beauty or abundance or anything good out of life. We joke about a lot of things that actually affect people's perspective when it comes to life. Some of the things we take lightly actually affect people's outlook on life. Watching girls that look like me go after the lives they want really inspired me. So for me, seeing people live lives that are fulfilling for them, people go after the lives that they want for themselves, build healthy relationships, be intentional about being the healthy aspect of a relationship themselves before expecting it from the next person. All those lessons really helped me, and it helped shape the relationships most of the relationships. Okay. Most of the relationships that I have in my life. So I'm so grateful. You know, sometimes I know we watch vlogs for different reasons. Some people, it's to be inspired to work harder and all those things. I think I just connected so much with the creativity, and I have grown to appreciate God's work even in the creative space. A lot of the creators that I watch are submitted to God, and they acknowledge His grace, and they acknowledge His work and His leadership in the work that they do. My lips are dry. Okay, we're fine now. So yeah, it's just consuming content from people who lift the Lord's name in everything they do inspired me so much, you know. And I love that we're open about our faith now. because I did not understand why was it okay for everyone else to uphold their faith, but the moment you say you are Christian, oh, what else did I do? I'll wake up at 4 in the morning. I would pray, I would read my Bible, I would journal, and not rush through anything. But majority of these things I fell off when I started working night shift and having to go to school. Working and school and trying to do both full time, it's not easy. It's doable, but there are compromises along the way, and I had to compromise a lot of these things, including journaling. I love journaling, I love writing, so it felt good to give myself a creative outlet for my love for writing through journaling. Felt really good. So tonight we're going to a crossover session at church, and initially I wanted to write all my goals down before going to church. Not to say I'm just gonna sit back and wait to see what God has in store for me. I will do my part, but in the coming year I'm not attached to any vision of my own, and I'm really curious to see and to learn what God's purpose for my life is. The teaching this week has been that we do not know our purpose because we do not create ourselves, which makes sense. So it's only our Creator who knows why we're here. I'm aware of the things that I'm passionate about. I am curious to see what God's purpose is for my life. I know my new year started on my birthday, but you cannot not get on the hype. It's so good, guys. Like, I'm so excited. Maybe it's the people that I follow on social media. Mel, so she created this plan. So she posted on her Instagram that she'll be making this guide, right? And then you have to DM her by commenting on that particular post, and then she'll send you a link via email. So I cannot really share, I don't think I can send the actual link, but also it would be good for her to track how many people are actually downloading the guide. So it wouldn't be helpful to her for me to just put the link that she sent me on the description box. I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but I'll leave the link to the actual post so that if you're interested, you can get the guide and she gets to get the accurate numbers on her side. Doesn't come off as if I'm downloading 500 times. I'm not a tech person. I don't know if that's what it would actually look like, but that's my thought processing, and it's from a good place. The intention is pure. Another thing that made this year feel good for me was planning. So every quarter of the year I would have a quarterly plan, and then I would have quarterly goals. Like, this is what I would like to accomplish in this quarter. Let me tell you, getting a driver's license made it to every quarter. Maybe 2026. Surely 2026 is the year. But what I was saying was quarterly I'll create a list of my goals for those 3 months, and then every week I would create a to-do list, a checklist of tasks that would help me achieve those goals, and that worked out really well. It also made me realize how much progress, it made me feel connected to the progress that I was making in my life. So I felt like I was living a progressive life. That is something I am carrying into the new year. Basically, those are my fights for 2025. I'm really grateful for the year that I had, and I'm looking forward to the coming year. I made quite a few brave decisions. I dealt with some else in a healthy way, and by healthy way I mean I remained in prayer. I remained in prayer even when I experienced rejections that I really needed to break throughs. And sometimes we do get into the habit of confusing God for a servant, that he has to make certain things happen for us. He needs to make certain things happen for us to worship him, you know. It's a mistake, it happens, but that's not the true essence of the faith of a Christian. I hope you have also taken the time to reflect on what worked for you this year, what didn't work, what you're looking forward to taking into the new year, what you are definitely leaving behind. And I pray that you have a blessed 2026. I pray that your crossover will be a safe one, and a blessed 2026, a 2026 that is designed by your Creator. Thank you once more for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for sharing my channel. Happy New Year, and see you in 2026.